What's up, guys? I'm Zach. We're at 22RPD. We're going to be walking you through our E46 M3 Flex Fuel Kit today, how simple it is to install, the benefits it has for your car, and how it is compared to the competitors.
What differentiates us from the rest is we actually do true fuel and ignition correction. As you may know, when you flip to E85, you have to change your ignition and you have to change your fuel control. Most of the competition just does fuel control. Included with our kit, we have both the 22RPD tune and software package and the Innovate gauge system. So this is a really simple kit. Obviously instructions, ethanol flex controller, this goes in your fuel system. You have the ethanol gauge, it tells you ethanol content and temperature, easy to install. And you have the harness and some face plates. The 22RPD kit, also super easy. We include all the software and a flash drive you need and the cable you need to flash your car. So we're gonna lift the car up. We're gonna remove the rightmost under panel to expose the fuel system. We're gonna install the flex fuel sensor in this area right here. And we're gonna route the wires up into the glove box or center console. Next, we're gonna put a catch right under here. We're gonna drain some fuel out of these. It's gonna be a little hard, but you're gonna depress the white clip. And you're gonna remove the fuel line here, like this. And we're gonna come in here and we're gonna cut this fuel line, this factory fuel line, and we're gonna install our 2 quick disconnect connectors. And that's gonna allow us to run the flex fuel sensor right here. So we cut this at about 9.5 inches. You can see here, worm gear clamped on, the Bundy, the quick disconnect. You can see what they look like on there. And then we've gone ahead and pushed in the flex fuel sensor in this direction. So what we're gonna do is, after we connect this one, we're gonna tuck this up into here. And what you'll see is that factory panel that clips right here will almost hold this in place. Now you can zip tie this or you can leave it hanging, kind of your decision there. No real bracket for this. So here we go, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Just like that. This goes up in here. You can kind of tuck it under that thing. Your vacuum line goes back in place. This is kind of how that under panel looks. Get the vacuum out of the way. The factory under panel sits kind of right here like this. This is gonna go right here. And we're gonna connect our electrode connector here and run that up to the top fuel system. So now we're back top side. Coming straight up from the flex fuel sensors, the harness that's included with the Innovate. So we're gonna pull that up, we're gonna join it along with all the other harnesses here. And you can see, here's the connector we're talking about. We're gonna push this through this factory grommet. Now this is only if you're doing a glove box install. If you're gonna do to a dash or something else, you'll pull it through a different grommet. But for a glove box install, we're gonna come right here through the grommet. We've opened the glove box and we're gonna connect and power it from there. So we're back over here at the gauge. Now this is gonna go from the inside of the glove box. So that grommet you saw, we're gonna pull that wire through the grommet. It's gonna connect here. And this is gonna stay in the glove box for the rest of the time. But for us to run this, we're gonna need power, ground, and signal. And this is gonna go to the harness that we have, right? So we're gonna have to provide these from the car. This is gonna go out to 2 pins, we'll show you later, power and ground. What we're gonna use since we're in the glove box is a fuse tap. These are really nice because they give you an easy access and a fuse for any problems. So we're gonna go the fuse tap to power, a factory ground location, and then we're gonna run the harness out to either the ECU or the valve cover for this yellow signal wire here. We've pulled the wires through, we've run the power from the fuse box here, connected that, we've pulled the signal yellow wire back through the fuse box, you'll see on the other side, and we're gonna leave this gauge right here now. We might come up with a mount for this. You can actually zip tie, you can put a hole in your glove box, but realistically, this does not need to be seen unless you're checking the ethanol percentage at the pump. So this will just stay in there just like that, and we can close this up and leave it. So now we're back in the engine bay. We've wired in our gauge in the glove box. You can also do it wherever else you're gonna do it. We're gonna run just the yellow wire up under the hood here. You can see we've loomed it. You have 2 places to connect the yellow wire. You can connect it to the DME pin 9. We include that in instructions, or you can connect it to the rear O2 sensor bank 1. Now rear O2 sensor bank 1 in a factory car is gonna be this first connector. Our favorite way of doing it is actually taking the OEM connector and soldering it in here so that it's fully removable as you need, and just goes like that. So now we're gonna tidy it up and we're good to go. That's the flex fuel install.